didn't know that you favor me this way, Lord. I didn't know that you favor me this way. I didn't know that you favor me this way, Lord. I didn't know
God who created heaven and earth and whatever that in it. You are the Lord that heal, deliver, and save, and bless. You are the Lord open doors where there is no door. You are the Lord makes way where there is no way. You are the Lord brings the river to the desert. We thank God for your protection, your love, your peace, your joy that have given us this particular moment. Yes, good evening all over your watching, and good day those another part of the world. I believe this particular moment we have joined us together for another message from your Creator, your God. The message today is very simple. We are talking about faith, and the title of message is Faith Without Action is Dead. Most of us who go to church is a hobby. The one on Sunday, you carry your Bible with a nice suit, you go to church. And when you come back from church, when they ask you, what was the message? You say, the same message like last Sunday. Though for you, church is a hobby. Because you have nothing to do on Sunday that only you make a time. In fact, before, like our service was the whole day. By this time, only take 2 hours, and we dismiss. That it become for you, the time becomes short that you can be able to socialize. And you cannot socialize now because of social distance. But let's talk about this wonderful period we're in, where the pastor cannot touch people, where you cannot have any contact with anybody that can pray for you. Because most of you, are only comfortable if they lay hand on you. By this time, we are not be allowed to lay hand on you. It's because of the period we are in. Now, how can you receive from God when no one can touch you? In fact, especially you people specialize on one-on-one. Oh, it's not a good product for you because you'll not be allowed on one-on-one. But now, how can you get solution with your trouble, with your sickness, with your disease, with your challenges that you are going through? Because you've tried whatever you can, things becoming worse, difficult day after day. How can we be helped in that particular period? Yes, we receive calls, but nevertheless, just right now around 5 p.m. in South African time, I received a call all the way from Australia. Because that time they're already sleeping. But Brother Emmanuel was troubled by the stomach ache. You see, a stomach ache to a man is so dangerous because it's very difficult. A man have a problem with the stomach. And it happened, I think 2 to 3 weeks ago, the same situation came in the night. We prayed, God made a way, it left. But today it came worse. And by God's grace, we have to pray from here. In fact, I was driving, I have to park because the call are coming later. So it's emergency, let me park and hear what is happening. And I hear the brother crying, say, oh, today is terrible. The pain has come back again, severe. I know that was a spiritual attack. He is in Australia, and I'm here in South Africa, and I was driving. How come can help a person, a man who's crying, not a small boy, but a man, a father of family, crying in the middle of the night, because Australia is night. You see, I exercise the action of faith. I say, brother, touch your umbilical, and I touch my umbilical. Though you see, I don't see him, he doesn't see me, but he touches his umbilical, I touch my umbilical. I think those of me, the head, as he touched his umbilical, I touched my umbilical, it was the point of contact. I don't see a person. In fact, I've never been in Australia before. But because of the faith that I have, that Father, if I speak this word to your son that is suffering in Australia, you are going to take the online prayer and reach your son. I heard the brother in the course of prayer, he began to vomit, began to shout, vomiting. And after that, after a few minutes, I received a call again. He said to me, I'm free now. The pain is gone. I can sleep. Do you understand what the meaning? The person is not here. I don't see the person. It's not through Skype. But the voice that carry from here to Australia, regardless how many seconds it will delay for him to hear me, but the power that moved the voice from here to there, is that the power we're looking at it tonight? What kind of power? In fact, we don't talk about the people who attended the service in WCC's Tabernacle, Botswana last Sunday. They saw themselves what power we're talking about. When I was not in. In fact, I received calls. People say, oh, you are here in Botswana, you did not tell people, you did not advertise that you are coming. We missed. I was laughing. I say, my spuku was in Botswana. You see, it's a way people raise up their faith. They don't worship human being. They won't worship Justin. But they worship the invisible God that is there wherever they are. As they believe and trust, things take place. In fact, from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, today, are receiving calls. In fact, testimony are piling every day. I said to the people who have deadline from the 22nd of June, that was last Sunday, to the end of June, something must happen for you, and it will happen. But the problem is, do you have faith? Do you believe? Do you have confidence? Do you trust God? Because this the problem is, he said, when you read the book of Isaiah 55, verse 11, he said, my word that goes out, it never go back empty until accomplish what I've sent it. That word is a word that will be spoken. That is not an empty word. It's a supernatural word that brings existence of God power in the natural. That brings existence God power in the natural. You can see it. You can touch it. But it must be built first in the spirit. That if is already approved in the spirit, like it or not, you are going to see it in the physical. Though this is the level we need to operate, especially in this particular period, is because it's a period the devil is thinking when they've closed the church, when they bring the distance, that the power of God will never operate again. But nevertheless, the power of God has gone to a supernatural higher that even the 6,600 volt is small. Is because to those who have faith, to those who have built themselves their confidence to their God, They don't need to see anybody. They don't need to be touched by anybody. Only what they have to do to trust that there's a God in heaven who created heaven and earth and who created everything that I need. You don't get from the government, you don't get from the brother, from the sister, from the employer, but you get from the source, a real source. And now to get for the real source, it needs you to enter in the invisible. Like what happened in Sunday in Botswana. I entered in the invisible. As I reached there, my body was not there. But the Spirit of the Lord that has put in me, it brought the power. I said to you these things. I said long time ago. In fact, Mpo remind me today the prayer that I prayed when we were building the WC's tabernacle of Botswana. When we have nothing, empty. But the prayer I prayed, I said, God, we are going to build a tabernacle here where they have healing, deliverance, salvation, breakthrough. And we have no money, but you are going to give us money to build this tabernacle. And that word, when the place was nothing, empty, that word, because had action, it became alive. Today, people are worshiping in WC's tabernacle, Botswana. In the same way, I just want to let you know tonight, you don't need to have money. You don't need to have a connection. You don't need to have education. You don't need to have a title. What only you need is faith. To believe in the invisible. When you believe in the invisible, because there are two power in the invisible. The negative power in the invisible and the positive power in the invisible. When you believe in the positive power in the visible, faith, many people believe on what their grandmother gave it to them. Many people believe on what they have. But there's people who do not believe anything that they have. They only believe on the one who created this heaven and earth. Regardless, you push them in a tight corner, they cannot define God, like what happened to Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. They went inside the fire. In fact, I like this statement they say. If God does not deliver us, it doesn't mean that we are going to bow down before your gods. Though you see, they say, if we're going to die under the fire, is God the will of God has to die under the fire. Do you understand what the meaning? They had that set up in your heart that I'm here not to glorify man, but I'm here to glorify God. It is the level we need to raise and to reach us who call Christian. When we reach that kind of level, you see any situation that can appear to you become nothing. Even the last minute of your situation, you still hold. Job, the wife asked him, are you still holding your integrity? Are you still holding your integrity? Many of us will be asked this question, especially at this particular time of lockdown, when you are losing job, you are losing business, you are losing the integrity, you are hungry, you are losing in marriage. Because some of the women, when there's no money, there's no business. So it becomes a situation that unbearable. Stress, fear has entered in the heart of so-called Christian. But I told you, fear is opposite to faith. When you have fear, automatically forget, don't pray, because you don't have faith. But when you have positive mandate, regardless the midst of negative, but to think positive, that shows your faith is higher than your situation. Your faith is higher than your situation. That when your faith is higher than the situation, you already conquer your fear. That shows you already have the answer. But let me tell you, the things we are talking about faith is not a physical situation. Faith is spiritual. It can be birthed in the spirit, but it comes to the natural by its own time of what God wants to release. Listen to me. I want to give you another example. When Hezekiah was sick, and the prophet Elijah told him that set your house in order and shall die. You see, he received the message. He received the message. But not to hold the prophet, he let him go. Himself, because he knew the relationship that he had with his God. He talked to God. And God answered his prayer there and there. But listen to me what happened. God said to him, I'm not going to heal you today. He said, I'm going to heal you on the third day. And you must go to the tabernacle. The temple is where you're going to receive your healing. Look at the blind man. They said to him, go and wash yourself to the river. Somebody do not see. Somebody don't see. How come Jesus can send him again to the river? How is he going to reach from there to the river? Go and wash yourself to the river. The same way, if the blind man, he could have said, oh, I cannot see. How can I walk from here to the river? He could miss his healing. Blind Bartimaeus, he shouted for his face, Son of God, have mercy on me. The peoples with him, they shut up. They tell him to shut down. But you see, he had that conviction. He did not see Jesus. He only heard the voice of Jesus. He shouted louder. And Jesus could not go to blind Bartimaeus. Jesus stood where he was. And he said to Bartimaeus, come. Is really tricky. How come you can call him to come when he knew that man is a blind man and all the people surrounding him, they could not help him? But Bartimaeus have the courage to walk from there and go where Jesus was. Do you see? You need to act. You need to act. If you want faith, you need to act. I said to you, when we were building the WC Tabernacle, Botswana, we had nothing. We had no budget. We have nothing. But I said to people who want to build, in fact, many people discouraged me, say, oh, how much man we have? We have done this, we have done that. Let's just make just a shell. I said to them, my God said to me, I must build him a tabernacle. He said, hey, you want to run away with the money? I'm not in the tabernacle now. I'm not in. But how many of you who even was fighting against this project are be blessed inside when even I'm not there? Though you see, in that kind of project that our church did not have anything. In fact, many people ask, we are going to get the money because I also have to go and borrow money from the bank. I said to them, your God is poor. What the meaning? The faith that I had, that if God said to me to build him a tabernacle, he's going to provide. Indeed, he did so. Right now, he not only talking about the tabernacle, the fruit that God told me to plant around the tabernacle. Like this coming Sunday, we're going to have a special service. They call it Anointed Narcis Service. Anointed Narcis Service. I don't know what is going to happen. I will request our technician to put television everywhere, even outside, even under the trees. They must put, because you are going to see what God is going to do this coming Sunday. Since where we are restricted, take the number that will be allowed inside. Other people, they must be outside. They must be watched on the television outside. Nevertheless, those who trust in my God, they are going to see what God is going to do for them. Because I told you, from last Sunday, the 22nd, until to the end of this month, it must happen, and it's going to happen. And it already started happening. Great testimonies. It already happened. I will allow themselves, the people who receive their testimony, to put their testimony together. They know what I'm talking about. But you see, is what you believe in the invisible is what you see in the physical. If you believe in the negative, you are going to see the result of negative. But if you believe in positive, regardless how long it takes, the positive result is going to come to pass. That you see, you need a prophet of God to speak on your life. If I say from 22nd to the 10th of June, something must happen, though that shows you must have that trust. Don't ask many questions. What's going to happen? None of your business. It's the invisibility that will be hanging there for so many years must come down to the natural. And those who believe and trust in God, those who have confidence in God, they are going to see the natural power, how it's going to manifest in their life. You see, when they say from today until today, there's something happened, you must claim your package. And don't tell God what you want. Just say, I'm ready to receive what is for me. Because it's him who knows exactly. I remember one man I meet just this afternoon, he said to me, oh, we have problem with corona. I said, corona, I have no problem. This is period of corona. It's going to pass. And there's no one can control it unless God himself. In the good way, I was passing the message, let us pray and leave it for God. He himself knows why we have corona this particular period. He knows. It's the way, because it's the, in fact, the corona is not for today. The corona was there already before, but it came to pass in this particular period. But we never know. You see, even right now, the corona is in Mexico, but the earthquake is still coming. Do you understand what the meaning is? God knows what is going on, but we have problems because we don't have faith. We don't ask God what is going to happen tomorrow, because it's him. In fact, he's very smart. He made it that no one knows what's going to happen tomorrow, that no one can boast. Look right now, people are fighting who's going to get the cure of coronavirus. It's about a year now. We're still going round. But if all of us from the beginning, let us go and inquire from the supernatural source, why this? And sometime it must happen that many of us that can be able to raise up our faith, that can believe there is God. But to many Christians, faith is become empty, dead. Fear has entered them. Fear. Let me tell you something. Who's not going to die? If God wants you to die this period, you are going to die. I mean, the people have died before. They did not die for corona. They died from other disease. In fact, other people go in your bed, you sleep. You find yourself, you are gone. Though that shows no one who does not want to go. God himself knows why you are in this period. But what is very important, don't focus in that situation you are in. Focus on what the future holds about our situation. That the way your faith must begin to work now. I told you, COVID-19 is nothing, but the economy, the trouble that's coming, is going to be worse than the situation that we are in now. But for you who have faith in God, who trust in God, who have confidence in him, he's not going to leave you nor forsake you. He's going to make a way that have done the way that in the past. Remember the trouble that we have in the past. Remember the challenge that we have in the past. Remember the sickness that we have in the past. Many people died. But you still alive. It's not because you are clever. It's because you trusted the little faith that you trusted God. You said, God, if not my time, no one can sweep me away. It's a way that you and I, we must raise up our faith. Let the action begin to mix with our faith. Let the faith work. Let the faith be alive. If your faith is alive, it takes time. Moses, it takes 40 years to taking care of the sheep. But because of a sign to deliver the people of Israel, remember he took them from Egypt until to the river Jordan. And Joshua took them from river Jordan to another side of the river. The same way, let us give God time. Let us give God time. When you pray with fear, you don't hear from God. But when you pray with confidence, let's us approach the throne of grace with confidence. Let us approach the throne of grace with confidence. What I mean confidence? Trust. That is faith. You know that, like it or not, it's going to happen. When I don't know, but my Father is going to do it for me. It's a way all of us so-called Christians could be working toward that. To keep our faith alive. To keep our faith going. To keep our faith, the light shining, the time we're waiting. Let us not be like 5 foolish women who say they only do get the fuel, get the petrol, get the paraffin only when the husband will come. I'm just talking to the people who, when they go to church, they get a miracle, they go and relax. We're at war. If you say you're a Christian, my brother, my sister, I just want to remind you, at war, day and night, that you need to hold yourself. In fact, you did not know that you are going to come to this world. There's someone who brought you in this world. It's not your father, it's not your mother. It's not the government. It's the one who knows how long you are going to live in this world and how you are going to live. How long you are going to live in this world and how you are going to live. If we could understand and know about this, we could go and hold ourselves like the lady with issue of blood of 12 years. He hold on the garment. I say, I cannot touch him. He cannot touch me. Let me hold the garment. And when you look at the whole story, the woman did not hold Jesus in the garment physically. She held Jesus in the garment spiritually. Though by faith, he held the garment. So this is the way you and I, you must raise up our level of understanding. Move out of fear. Fear is opposite to faith. Fear is opposite to fear. But all of us, Fear has encountered us. Fear is rooming. Even fear, not only physical, even our spirit has entered fear. We are no longer in praying. I don't know what your stand in this particular moment, but I want to assure you, this is the time that you want to prove yourself if you are Christian or not, because the time is not conducive. The time is a pushing time. It's the real time. Jesus said, you cannot worship in 1 hour to pray. It's not the time to sleep. It's the time to stand up and let your light shine in the midst of darkness. Yes, by the way, let us go. Like I told you that our title of message is Faith Without Action is Dead. I don't know how your faith is, but let's just go to the book of James chapter 2. James chapter 2. If you are there, say amen. If you are there, say amen. James chapter 2. I start verse 14. I'll read. What good is it, my brother and sister, if anyone claims to have faith but has no deed? Can such faith save them? If anyone claims to have faith but has no deed, has no action, they say the faith is not alive. This is the question. Can that such sister and brother faith save them? Because faith is a salvation. Faith is a solution. Faith is a healing. Faith is a deliverance. Faith is a breakthrough. That is faith. Though you believe in the invisible, not in the negative way, in the positive way. If you are able to do so, my brother, my sister, it's a matter of time. People will see it. Like I told you, the WC's tabernacle Botswana, that you see that high power is not the money build that building. It's the faith that we had toward our God, who said to me, build for me a tabernacle. And with the people know the whole story, with no hesitation, with no fear, I went ahead and started digging a foundation. We had fight from the beginning until to the end. But by God's grace, people are worshiping in the tabernacle. People are getting healed. People are getting delivered. People are getting blessed. Situations are changing. The marriage that was dead are alive today. This kind of faith, it needs a human being who's devoted himself to kings of God to see the future, how you hold. You can touch now the WC Tabernacle, Botswana. You can touch it. But that was a word spoken when was a forest, trees. But as the word was spoken with action, and today we can see, we can touch, we can experience what faith can do. I want you to move in that level of understanding, to trust the invisible in a positive way. And if you believe, it's a matter of time, but give time to God. Don't go ahead of God. Go as God says so and follow all the principles. Like I said to you, if a brother, his faith does not have deed, have not action, if that faith can save them, if that faith can heal them, that faith can deliver them, that faith can bless them, that faith can get what they need beyond that. That is a question. That the question is where from you today, if you never believe in God before, you never trust in God before, God is not a physical man that want to see. When you go to a witch doctor, going to give a piece of tree, or is going to tie something, a string on your waist, like women. But believing in God, you believe in the invisible, you know that like what Ezekiel did, he turned on the wall. He faced God one-on-one. When I'm going to have one-on-one of Jesus Christ, one-on-one of the Holy Spirit is what you want. Because only them knows what you want. In fact, till now, you don't know what you want. Though we need to raise up our faith in a certain level that even the people surrounding you, they don't understand who you are. A person of faith, they call him crazy. Some of us, they call us crazy. In many situations, many circumstances, they call us crazy. But you see, our craziness of God bring result. You can see it, you can touch it. You can touch it. I said to you, the nurses that come this coming Sunday, from the one who started to get last Sunday and those coming this Sunday, is beyond imagination. That I'm preparing for you today. From your house when you are coming, just believe that just only touching it before you eat, great things must happen to you. I don't care how many days. What I know, God works in second. He's a master of time. He's a master of time. I know that the people are far from us. In fact, even where I am in South Africa, I have only few. I don't even can be enough. But what I know, those who have faith, wherever they are, just hold on those pictures of that fruit. The healing, deliverance, salvation, breakthrough is going to take place. It's going to take place. It's already taking place. We already have testimony from this Sunday that has happened to the life of people. When are you going to get your package? When are you going to get your package? When you still have fear in your heart. When you still murmuring, doubting, a heart full of grudges, that heart does not have faith. It cannot carry faith. When you have a heart of unforgiveness, you cannot carry faith. When you are murmuring, you cannot carry faith. When you are doubting, you cannot carry faith. When you have grudges against human being, faith cannot work. Never. Your heart must be pure. Your hand must be clean. You must be ready to receive from the throne of grace. You must be ready to receive from the throne of grace. And when this is the time, I said to you from the beginning of January of this year, I say the year is going to be tough. We're going to be humbled by this year. But those who trust in him, they'll never be put to shame. They're going to see the glory of God. It is the way I told you that this particular period, from the 22nd of June to the 30th of June, those are be accounted among those to receive. Receiving is not only in the physical way, even the spirit. your spirit life must also grow. In fact, for me, I yearn the spiritual life, because if your spiritual life has gone higher, all the physical things become so easy, very, very easy, because the spirituality dominates the natural. I don't know, my brother, my sister. I don't want to read more. I just end here for this question. I'll bring you back on Sunday at 12 noon. Those who make it in WC Tabernacle, Botswana, be there. They are going to make sure every way they must put television. Those IT people around there, they must work, make sure that the television must be even on the street, because of the limited of number that going inside. That people are sitting in their cars, that they see my face coming up. Their faith is going to rise up, and I believe and I trust He's going to happen for them. Let your faith be alive. Let your faith be alive. Your faith without action is dead. Who want to pray in this particular moment? I know this message. This is the fundamental message of any Christian in this world. We live by faith. We trust by faith. We know God by faith. This is a fundamental of Christianity. We believe the invisible. I'm standing here. I never see God before, but I trust that God is existing. Is in me. As long as my heart have no grudges, my heart have the spirit of forgiveness, I don't murmur, I don't doubt, I don't complain. Believe me, God, Spirit, it will reside in your heart. That as long as God's Spirit resides in your heart, that shows automatically you have faith. More God have a big space in your heart, more your faith is bigger as it is. It's up to you to allow Him to have a small space or to have a big space. It doesn't force you to live in Him. It gives you freedom that you can choose life or death. It's up to you, my brother. Those are ready to pray. We are praying not for material now. We are praying for your faith that must be raised up. Your faith must come alive. Your faith must come alive. Your faith must come alive. When your faith become alive, you are being connected with God. You are being connected with God. You are being connected with God. When your faith is alive, you are being connected with God. Raise up your hand by faith. As I raise my hand by faith, I'm just introducing the faith that God has built in me. I'm just sharing with you right now. Those are willing to grow and their faith to come alive today, put your hand against a screen by faith. Receive it. Receive it. Receive it. Yes. It is done. It is done. It is done. Like I said to you, Sunday, 12 noon, let us meet again for the Anointed Narchis service. Don't miss. Those are not where the Narchis is. We are going to put a picture on the screen. You are going to eat it in the spirit. You are going to touch it in the spirit. Believe me, wherever you are, distance not a barrier. Because the Jesus that I trust here is there. In fact, you carry him in your heart. They're not far from you. That shows he's not going to bypass you. He's going to see you through in the particular moment. We thank God for this particular message that God has brought for us. I believe and I trust you, my brother and my sister. Your life has changed already. You're only waiting for the manifestation in the natural way. But in the spirit is sealed up in Jesus' name. We thank God for those who are supporting the work of God, for those who are remembering the less privileged, for those are husband to the widow and the father to the fatherless. I trust and believe this particular period you have 100-fold of reward in your life. I thank God for your life. I thank God. I know and I trust the promise of God will never bypass you. Is going to see you through in Jesus' name. Those trust in God, let them say a big amen, amen, amen. Thank you. See you there on Sunday, the same time, 12 noon. Thank you.